Welcome back to the channel. My name's Brian Kingsbury. Sometimes when others zig, you zag. Sometimes rules are meant, that's right, to be broken. Today we're going to read about 20 songs that broke the rules and won hearts. Actually, we're going to read about 10. We're going to do 10, and if you guys like it enough, we'll do the other 10. Let's get started. First on the list is Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, released in 1975. Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody shattered every expectation of what a rock song should be in the mid-1970s. With a running time of nearly 6 minutes and not a single chorus in sight, it was a risky move for both the band and their label. Freddie Mercury's vision combined operatic drama and ballads vulnerability and the thunder of hard rock, all within one song. No one had ever heard anything quite like it, and at first, radio stations balked at the length. That's right, they balked at the length, but the song's wild ambition paid off. Bohemian Rhapsody shot to #1 in the UK and became a global phenomenon, selling over 6 million copies in the US alone. Today, it's considered a masterpiece, a song you belt out in your car with friends, proving that sometimes breaking the rules means making history. Its continued chart success, including a resurgence after the 2018 biopic, shows the world's love for rule breakers. Up next on the list is Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, released in 1991. When Nirvana unleashed Smells Like Teen Spirit, it was like a brick through a stained glass window. The polished pop of the late 80s was suddenly interrupted by Kurt Cobain's raw vocals and the band's explosive sound. Released in 1991, the song peaked at number 6 on Billboard Hot 100 and went 5x platinum in the US, sending shockwaves through the music industry. Its sludgy guitar and mumbled verses, paired with an anti-commercial spirit, spoke directly to a generation that felt ignored by mainstream culture. Teen Spirit was supposed to be a radio-friendly single, but its authenticity made it irresistible. The grunge movement was born and alternative rock was changed forever. The song's music video, with its chaotic high school setting, became iconic and helped define MTV in the 90s. Up next on today's list is Strawberry Fields Forever by the Beatles, released in 1967. The Beatles were already innovators, but Strawberry Fields Forever took their creativity to another level. Released in 1967, the song was built from psychedelic soundscapes, reverse tape effects, and spliced together takes, almost unheard of in pop music at the time. John Lennon's dreamy vocals and cryptic lyrics added a surreal quality, leaving listeners both enchanted and confused. Strawberry Fields Forever felt like a trip into another world, and its influence on the psychedelic rock movement was immense. The production alone was groundbreaking, with George Martin painstakingly blending 2 separate recordings to achieve Lennon's vision. It pushed the boundaries of what was possible in a studio and inspired countless artists to experiment with sound and structure. Up next is God Only Knows by the Beach Boys, released in 1966. I listened to this one this morning, and it's definitely worth a listen. God Only Knows is often described as one of the most beautiful love songs ever written, but it starts with a line that's surprisingly uncertain. I may not always love you. Brian Wilson's willingness to explore emotional complexity, paired with lush orchestration and inventive harmonies, made the song revolutionary in 1966. It was released as part of the legendary Pet Sounds album, which itself is regularly cited as one of the most influential albums in pop history. The song's structure and arrangement broke away from the standard verse-chorus-verse format, creating something more akin to a classical piece. God Only Knows has since been covered by dozens of artists and continues to influence musicians today, from Paul McCartney to modern indie bands. Up next is My Generation by The Who, released in 1965. My Generation is pure, unfiltered rebellion. When The Who released it in 1965, few songs captured the voice of youths quite so bluntly. Roger Daltrey's stuttering vocal delivery, reportedly inspired by frustration and the speech patterns of young mods, became instantly iconic. The famous line, "I hope I die before I get old," was practically a battle cry for the disaffected. Musically, the song was loud, fast, and aggressive, with Pete Townshend's windmill guitar and Keith Moon's manic drumming. My Generation didn't just break rules, it set new ones, laying the groundwork for punk rock and inspiring generations of musicians to follow their own path. Up next is Black Star by David Bowie, released in 2015. Again, I listened to this song this morning. It's 10 minutes long. I listened about 6 minutes, but it is very interesting. Definitely worth a listen. David Bowie's Black Star came out just days before his death, and it's impossible to separate the song from that context. At nearly 10 minutes long, the drawing from jazz, electronica, and avant-garde influences, Black Star doesn't sound like anything else in Bowie's catalog, or anyone else's for that matter. The song is dark, mysterious, and deeply moving, with lyrics that seem to confront mortality head-on. Critics praise it as a masterpiece, and it won multiple Grammy Awards, including Best Alternative Music Album. The song's structure is unpredictable, moving through different moods and motifs, mirroring Bowie's own chameleon-like career. Black Star stands as a final bold statement from an artist who never stopped reinventing himself. Up next is Formation by Beyoncé, released in 2016. Beyoncé's Formation isn't just a song, it's a cultural movement. Released in 2016, it tackled issues of race, identity, and empowerment in a way that few pop songs ever had. The track's lyrics and video celebrated black culture while directly addressing police brutality, Hurricane Katrina, and Beyoncé's own southern roots. The production were spare but moved powerful, mixing trap beats with brass and a touch of New Orleans bounce. Formation debuted at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, and its video won the MTV Video Music Award for Video of the Year. The song's unapologetic message and bold visuals sparked conversations far beyond music, showing how pop could be both personal and political. Up next is Hey Ya by Outkast, released in 2003. Hey Ya by Outkast is the ultimate musical bait and switch, a heartbreak song that sounds like a party. Andre 3000's lyrics chronicle the end of a relationship, but the song's infectious funk pop beat makes it impossible not to dance. Released in 2003, Hey Ya shot to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and won multiple Grammy Awards. The song's structure was unconventional, with no real verse-chorus-verse pattern, and a famous bridge that breaks the fourth wall. Alright now, fellas. Its genre-blending style was years ahead of its time, combining elements of funk, rap, and even indie rock. The result is a song that is much a sing-along anthem as it is a clever take on modern love. Up next is Creep by Radiohead, released in 1992. Radiohead's Creep almost didn't make it onto their debut album, and the band even considered scrapping it altogether. The song's brutally honest lyrics about alienation and self-doubt struck a chord with listeners around the world. The famous distorted guitar stab in the chorus was a happy accident. Guitarist John Greenwood played it to try to sabotage the song, but it ended up being its signature moment. Creep peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Modern Rock Tracks chart and has been covered by countless artists. Today, it's still a staple of alternative radio and karaoke nights, proof that sometimes the songs that almost get cut become the ones that define a band. Up next is Royals by Lorde, released in 2013. At just 16 years old, Lorde released Royals, a song that thumbed its nose at excesses of pop music. The production was minimalist, a few snaps of bass line, and Lorde's haunting voice. The lyrics rejected materialism and luxury, painting a picture of suburban life that resonated with people all over the world. Royals quickly climbed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and turned Lorde into an international star. The song's fresh perspective and stripped-back sound challenged the glossy pop norms of the time, proving that authenticity and simplicity could win hearts and top charts. Alright, so there you have it. There's the first 10 of 20 songs that broke the rules and won hearts. If you guys want me to read the rest of this article, let me know in the comments section. Take a guess maybe what the next 10 of these songs will be. Which ones will make the list? And of these 10, let me know your favorite. I think listening to that Beach Boys song this morning reminded me how great the Beach Boys and Brian Wilson was, how revolutionary he really was. If you haven't listened to God Only Knows by the Beach Boys in a while, definitely give that one a play and refresh your memory about the Beach Boys and how legendary they were. 1966 that one came out and it sounds fresh as a daisy. And again, Black Star by David Bowie came out in 2015. I listened to that one this morning. It is 10 minutes, but if you got 10 minutes to spare, or even if you listen to half of it, it's definitely worth a listen to check it out and see how he ended his career, Grammy winning that one as well. Alright, so there you have it. There's your homework for tonight. Listen to those 2 songs and then come on back for the final 10 of this article. There I am, Brian Kingsbury. If you haven't subscribed yet, please take a second to hit that subscription button and ring that notification bell and give this one a like. That'll help get it in front of a few more eyes, and I truly appreciate it. Thanks for watching this one to the very end. We'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.